welcome back to my creative chronic life, and today I am back with a May monthly setup, and this is my Kolourcafe kaku planner, which is in like the TN size. And then if you saw my channel lately, I actually did a cafe latitude unboxing by Kolourcafe, so I thought, how perfect is that to do our monthly setup. So I do have some washi. So this is one of the washis that came within the Cafe Latitude box along with this PET tape. But if you watch my videos previously, you know that I had some of Kolourcafe's washi from the Advent 2025 Advent box, which I can leave a description for you if you've not had a chance to watch that yet. So I thought what we could do is just take out a couple of pieces of different washi and then use mainly the stickers and set up our monthly plan. So I'll just pop all these to the side. I have shared a couple of setups previously on how I did this kaku planner. If you've not quite seen it, we can talk about it a little bit. It has this beautiful brown kind of leather cover, and then I actually got a matching cover, got tabs to match, and then you had a choice of it coming with the kind of yearly script, so I picked that up as well. I just decorated the name plate. I haven't actually added my name to it yet. This was the month of January, so I used what I had left over from the Advent calendar box to the best of my abilities. And then this one is for the month of February. Again, I kind of just used washi that I had, and I had some coffee related I think it's called clip art from Etsy, which I've purchased myself and I'm able to use. And then this was a sticker kit from Height Right Designs, so I thought I'd add a pop of colour. And then we have this one, which is April, from Little Bloom Papery, and I just like how it gives me lots and lots of variation in each of the months. Now you may notice I haven't actually filled out any of the months, and that's specific because I wanted to go back and see kind of when I did. This is basically my everyday journal where I just write thoughts in there, but at the same time my thoughts were correlating to my spending. So if you know me, that I have chronic conditions, I've got disabilities, I spend a lot of time at home, and I started to notice that a mood for me would then make me want to have kind of like a shopping spree, but online, because I physically don't shop in person. So with that, it made me think about, hang on a minute, let me see if having a bad day really means that I then online shop because I can't sleep, and it did. So I've been really trying my best not to let that happen. So at the bottom of kind of sometimes some of my entries, some days I fill them in, I might just write that I purchased Nintendo and then write the price down. Now I know this could probably go in like a spending tracker, but because it correlates so much with my mood, I decided to add it in here. So what I did want to do is go back after the month had completed and go back and actually just write, you know, when I did the no spend and what I actually spent, which would make this kind of be like less pretty, but haven't got around to doing it, to be honest. Obviously a couple of months I wasn't feeling well, so I haven't filled it in. And again, I thought I would go back and just maybe print out some pictures or something like that, but I haven't got around to it, to be honest. It's really not been a priority for me, and a lot of this is sometimes I need to find time throughout the day to journal, but I don't actually then journal. And what that means for me is that then I leave it late at night and then I'm thinking about everything and I'm just like ruminating with my thoughts. So instead I decided to just kind of stop and have a break. But I do like to create these monthly sections. I think they're pretty, it's something to look forward to, and then I do try to carry them over into kind of the weekdays using whatever leftover stickers that we have. So what I like to do is I like to start off with the weekdays headers first, and then I like to add in the date dots to kind of know what month we are in. I usually have a calendar at the side here from Park Hill Paper & Co, but I haven't had a chance to change it out, so each time I look I've made quite a few mistakes now. that I think it's actually we're still in April, but we're not. So I'm just going to bring up my calendar on my phone, and to the best of my knowledge, I think the first was on Friday. Yes, it is. So if we do Friday, which is there, so what I may do with this, I might come and have a little conversation, or I might just add some music depending on how I feel. But I don't think I will let you sit through the entire kind of 31 days of me adding down date dots. The thing about this month is that it ends on a Sunday, which is really nice. So it means I have like a nice kind of straight edge. So if that's the 3rd, 10th, 17th, 24th, 31st, yes. So sometimes this is all I need to do, is just add down the dates from the 1st to the 31st, and it gives me a really good inkling of where I can pop down the stickers. So what I'll do is I will do that, and then I will come back to you. I've just had quite a number of weeks off because I was very, very poorly, and then I decided that rather than rush back into things, I would take my time. I have been having a better routine all over, and if you do follow me across my social media, you know that I recently purchased a new Filming-Canon, which basically means that I'm a little bit more organized in terms of just like the everyday, but also at the same time I found that with the Filming-Canon I started a series called Proof of Life, which just means we have a catch up. I can talk about health related things, so I'm not then using every episode or every other video to talk about health things, because I'm sure that if you just want to pop and come on and have a look at, if you're just wanting to pop on and come on and have a look at we got going on, or what I'm planning or whatnot, I'm really sure you don't want to listen to me talk about health updates. So I decided to keep that video separate. So if you ever want to know kind of what my weeks look like and what I'm doing in terms of planner setups and inserts, then you can see, I think there's 2 episodes up already, and it's just called Proof of Life. So I've decided to keep that separate, and obviously with this journaling I would love to be able to show more, but I think when I'm writing in this journal, my writing isn't the best, and I find that when I'm trying to get my thoughts on paper, I'm just in my own element and my own zone. And because I write with a fountain pen in this planner, I don't really quite care how my writing goes, because I have a limited amount of time before my hands start to cramp. So then I just kind of scribble things down, and that's that. But I've been asked across social media, how do I kind of stick to journaling every day? So when I'm in the zone and I want to, I just take some time out in the evening. I make sure to either add it on the to-do list, because for me, if something's on the to-do list, I'm more likely to remember, but if it's not on the to-do list, I definitely won't remember. So instead, what I try and do is put it on the to-do list, and then I will make an effort. If I've, let's say, been planning for the day, but I haven't used this planner, I'll take it out, put it in front on a pen, so as I'm passing by the desk to get to bed, I will see that it's there. I'll then pop it on my kind of side bed caddy and put it in there so that I can sit and journal a little bit. And that's usually how I kind of stay motivated in journaling. And to be honest, once I'm there, it doesn't take me very long to get into it. My issue has been to stop thinking about what I'm writing about. So again, that rumination comes into it. So I've tried trying to do it a little bit earlier on in the evening, and it's still the same thing. So I've stopped for a while now, but I'm hoping that with this kind of new May setup, that rather than do it in the evening, I'm going to start doing it in the morning, where I then check in with my Filming-Canon every day. So that way then in the morning it's over and done with. I'm writing about the day before, so my feelings are still fresh. What I want to write down is still fresh, but not necessarily that I'm then wasting the entire day, because I've got a day to kind of get on with. So I think that's going to be my way of moving forward. And then generally what I write about is feelings, what went on in the day, if anything upset me, how I'm feeling generally, if there's something that I need to get out that I really can't share with anybody else. i.e. just say, like, for example, I don't know, I'm having a really bad day but I feel a certain way, and it's not that I can't share with somebody, it's that I don't want to share with somebody. So with that, I will just hold off and make sure that I add that to my journal, and then I might talk about it at a later date, but not necessarily on that particular day, because I like to think about it. I absolutely love this little card holder. I'm really wanting to use it, maybe in my Filofax planner, and just maybe punch some holes in, because I think it's so cute. I'm going to ask Kolourcafe if there's any more available, and she says yeah, I might just pick up a couple, because they slot quite nicely into planners as well. I mean, this is much smaller than a TN. In fact, I have my Filofax right here. Oh, that would be perfect, wouldn't it? I just have to shave off a teeny tiny bit from the top, but at the same time I don't think I'd need to. Yeah, I'm definitely going to send it a quick message to ask. So we have some stickers, and if you haven't seen the Kolourcafe unboxing, I will link that below for you. We did get some coffee related stickers, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use them today, so I'll add them to the side. So we have one page that's foiled, another page that's coffee related, another page. So there's 5 in total, along with the washi and possibly the PET tape. So we will see how this kind of setup goes. So what I may have to do is just zoom in a little bit. I think that's better for you, so we can see what we're doing. So the way I like to decorate is usually to see what kind of blank space that I have, and then with that I like to see, well, okay, what would go really nicely. So for example, we have an entire bottom space, we've got a set here and a set here, and of course the top row. So for example, if I wanted to use the washi tape, which is this washi tape, I could do, but I'll just give you some examples. You can see I've used washi tape in many different ways, so maybe we could do something similar to that, or we could add a teeny tiny bit of washi tape, which I think that's the way I'm going to go, just to add a little pop of colour. And then what I do is, because it's such a thick strip and maybe I want to see what else is underneath there, I just pinch the paper and rip it off so that it splits into 2. And I don't quite think about what I want to do. So what I will do is, I might have to do a little bit of turning for this, because I find that it's much easier for me to see. I do have my trusty tweezers here as well. So overall I do actually enjoy using this planner. I just feel like that it's a beautiful planner, and I feel some days when I'm not able to write, I'm not quite sure, and because I have other planners that I'm obviously now using, and it's like trying to fit and find the time to be able to use everything. And I don't want to say all at the same time, because it's not necessarily all at the same time. It's trying to fit in when you want to do something, but also when moods arise and you know you're not feeling too good, you just gotta look after yourself, and all of this really doesn't matter. I used to really be quite harsh on myself in terms of, well, you didn't get this finished and you didn't get that finished, so you know you've left blank pages in here, and then it would kind of make me feel quite bad. But then I decided, hang on a minute, we're not going to do that at all. Let's just see if I can get this back open, and we're not going to do that at all, because ultimately, you know, at the end of the day, it's my planner and I can use it how I want and when I want and for as long as I want. I really like the idea of this PET tape right here, but just to maybe fit along there, I think that would work beautifully, and I think that's just enough space. I'm not quite sure where it ends. I'm in the middle of also sorting out my caddy as well, because I'm kind of really struggling with keeping it organized. Okay, so there's a little bit of sellotape that you can actually add back on, which I think I'll keep, because it's not as sticky as normal sellotape, so it means it's not going to ruin the PET tape. Okay, so I'm not quite sure how this actually works. Oh, PET tape, it's not the other type, is it? In fact, I don't think it matters. We're just going to get some tweezers and try and find an edge. Oh, I really like that. Let's see if you can have a little close up. I like that. That was a nice easy strip to do. Okay, I might have to cut off some excess of the little thing at the end, but that's absolutely fine. Okay, and then that leaves us with, so what I like to do is have kind of a base or a chunk of something, and then I think I want to take this Cafe Latitude sticker and just add that down the side. I have some new glasses as well, and I'm struggling with seeing things at the moment. They said for me to see how I get on with the prescription for about a week, but I am struggling a little bit. Okay, and then I think we have obviously these, what's on this page is pretty much what's on the PET tape, but I think I would like to have the little blue coffee, but then I won't have anything else that's blue, so I'm thinking maybe I could add one of these Cafe Latitude stickers right here. I don't want to place that all the way down because we've got this coffee plant which I think would go really well. So basically that's kind of how I plan and usually journal in here. Probably went off on a tangent then, which is something that I usually do, and I apologize. Sometimes I think I need to kind of have my information kind of bullet listed or something, but I never seem to remember to do that. We have a little coffee and a little section here. I absolutely love these washi tapes, which I think would go quite well. So that automatically, as you can see, has built up like a picture of some sorts, and then obviously I might go back in at the end and add like other little bits, but for the most part I think that bottom part is done. So now what I like to do is I like to concentrate on the top, and I have this sticker here and it says found along the way, which I think will go really well at the top, just so that I can leave that part plain. Let's see. There we go, and then we have a little like a coffee splotch thing above, which I think is going to go really well here. We then have, it's like a little, I don't know what you call it, let's call it a line, a decorative line that I think I would like to use. And I wonder if when you're looking down on the camera, if you can see that some lines are not straight. It's because of my glasses, I'm struggling a little bit today. And then I think, let's go back and have a look through what we have. I found this little sticker here, which is almost like being in a little coffee shop, which I think would go wonderful right here, to kind of fill up that space. I wish I had some like gold elements, like little stars or little bits. I think I have some gold elements somewhere, but I'm just not sure if I remember where I've put them. Okay, and then I feel like we can use this, I think I'll go with the lighter one. Okay, because we have some blank space in here, I think it would be nice to add. I'm so pleased that I can actually lift these stickers up, because I think I would probably cry, because if the way that I can't see today if they're straight or not, but I'm so glad I can. And then add this one here, which then leaves us with a couple of other blank spaces. And sometimes it's really about going with the flow and trying to see what you have, and then the ideas just build. I'm not the type of person who can just have a plan and then stick to the plan. For me, it's usually I will have to really sit down and get started. I need something that's going to be a little smaller. There's nothing here that's small. I do have a different type of washi tape, which I think would go quite well. A little bit all over the place today, and I'm not quite sure why. I feel like, you know, in your mind where you have 110 tabs open, well, that's exactly what I feel like, and that usually isn't me at all. I mean, I always have tabs open but in my brain, but what I mean is that it's something that I try not to do. And then I think, because I have a little bit of that left over, I might actually go over here. There we go. So I don't mind having a little bit of blank space on things, so I think what I may do is, we have a north, east, west, which I think is great at an angle, and then we have a little saying Cafe Latitude. This felt like a good place to stay. By the way, in the Cafe Latitude box we also received a coffee cup, like a thermal one are they called? Is it a thermos? I don't know, whatever the word is. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I tried it the other day, and honestly, the coffee stays so warm. And I'm looking forward to taking that out on the go, because it's not something that I've been able to do previously, because on my wheelchair my coffee cup holder is quite small, and I feel like that is going to be absolutely perfect. So again, some coffee beans, and then it says today's special is relaxation. We'll just add that here, just to kind of bring it. Would that be okay there? Would that be better there? Yeah, that would be better there. I think that's it. Smaller coffee rings. And all I like to do with these is just cut them in half, because it gives you that little bit of something rather than using an entire sticker or a couple of stickers. So I think that is absolutely perfect. And as you can see, we have still got lots and lots of stickers left over. I mean, this is me not being stingy. I've kind of used as much space as possible. Obviously I've not added into the middle, but if I wanted to I really could. But I think that's perfect for me. We'll just pop this to the side, and then I'll take out my binder, which is chunky, and I will just have a quick look to see if there's anything that I can use to just add a teeny tiny pop of something. Sometimes I forget I have a lot of these, you know, gold slash, ooh. So just for a little pop of gold, I think I will add one of these florals. That's it. And then I have these teeny tiny butterflies that I may have to fight with because they kind of stuck down a little bit. No, that's not something I can do today. Unfortunately, my eyes don't seem to want to focus. Instead, we will take out the next section and see what we have available in here. Nothing here. These are from my spoiled planner. No idea who that shop is, but I used to like to pick up loads from a D-stash. And I'm just going to see if I can actually lift the sticker up, because what happens is, depending on where you purchase something from, or for example where and how long stickers have been, it's quite difficult to actually then pick up the stickers, because they just get stuck to the back of the backing, and no matter how much you try, well, for me it's impossible. Maybe not for somebody else, but definitely for me. I just can't do it. I struggle with the smaller things anyway, trying to pinch them up. I think if I didn't have these tweezers, I would be struggling pretty much all the time. And if I didn't have my husband, who is always so kind in helping, I think we will do one more, and then that's it. We're going to call it a day. So this is my monthly setup for the month of May. I really like how that turned out. When I first sat down to do this plan with me, I really didn't envision it. I'm not sure if in hindsight it would have been good to do some foiled weekdays and date dots, but at the same time I do like the version of the black. I just wish I could get like brown or even like green, like an olive green date dots and weekdays headers and things like that. I just think it's really pretty, and it would have gone really beautifully well with this layout. Obviously with this planner, it's not intentional that I'm going for the coffee theme, but I think I do like the idea of it being coffee themed. I just think it's great, and especially like, it doesn't matter, coffee themes are different. You might not have seen something like this before, or you might have seen something similar, but I haven't. Even with the Kolourcafe, we get a variation of different coffee stuff, and I absolutely love it. I just think to myself, like, how many other variations can we have? And then before you know it, I'm surprised again. And with this washi tape, you've seen as well, it's brilliant to lift back up, it doesn't stick, and obviously this is Kolourcafe's own planner as well, so I'm sure there's lots of testing involved. I genuinely love this planner, even though I might not use it, like I said, as I should every day. In hindsight, next year I think I'm going to get this as kind of like my everyday catch-all planner, because I think that would be a good way to go. But I hope you've enjoyed this May plan with me using Kolourcafe's Latitude box. If you've not watched that video, I'll leave that in the link below, and you can always find other Kolourcafe related advents or hauls or boxes in my playlist. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment box below, and you can always find me on my website at www.mycreativechroniclife.co.uk, where I share things related to blog posts, reading reviews, grab and go freebies, and much more. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, bye bye.